Happy Halloween, everybody! Crocodile King here! Welcome to my reaction of Death Battle Season 8, Episode 12, I want to say? Yes, 12! Holy crap! We're already on Episode 12. This is going to be a very, very interesting matchup. It's one that's been anticipated for quite a while. Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Alucard from Hellsing Ultimate. Two of the most powerful vampires in anime history. Now, unfortunately, I'm not very familiar with either Hellsing Ultimate or JoJo, so feel free to bash me in the comments for that. But I'm still very interested to see how this matchup's going to go, so let's not waste any time and get right to the action. Okay, the episode's up. We are ready to start. Dio Brando versus Alucard. Alright, I'm very excited to see how this one is going to play out. So, like I said, let's just not waste any time and get right down to it. Let's go for the Halloween special. 3, 2, 1. Boom, 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 boom. Here we go. Dio Brando.
Everlasting adversary of the Joestar bloodline.
Alucard.
Undying enforcer of the Hellsing organization.
Hellsing.
Vampires, the spawn of nightmares formed from the blackest pits of man's demented imagination. Anime. Basically the same thing. You combine them, two of the meanest monsters out there. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
A death battle. So we're going for Spites again. Let's go.
Imagine, if you can, someone so wicked that the sheer magnitude of their unholy dickishness literally destroyed the universe.
Yeah, he's that much of a jerk.
No less than the devil himself, but it was him. Dio. Born a penniless street rat with a cunning mind.
123 years old.
London, Dio
Stand
was
as the world.
humiliated by his poverty and abused by his alcoholic father. His bitter resentment and small dick energy would lead to a lifelong desire for ultimate power and immortality.
Down too long in the Midnight Sea? Okay.
And he'd get his chance to act when he was adopted into the wealthy Joestar family. Dio planned to kill his new father, George Joestar, and take his fortune for himself. Only one thing stood in his way, his new brother, Jonathan Joestar, a.k.a.
JoJo.
Dio tried to go all alpha wolf on JoJo by engaging in such classic sibling pranks as beating him up, molesting his girlfriend, and setting his dog on fire. Jesus! You give that creepy dog murderer what for, JoJo? But after years of
Jack Spaniels would be proud.
Dio's twisted assassination plot was foiled by his righteous stepbrother. With help from the interfering Speedwagon, all seemed lost until Dio pulled out his Plan B, an ancient stone mask that turned him into a vampire. That's just bizarre.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, I get it.
Dracula, instead of turning you into an unholy demon, the stone mask eliminates your body's natural limitations, making him way stronger, faster, and tougher than any human. He can hear a heartbeat through the ground, fly through the air,
like
and
Toph.
hypnotize you with just a glance. It gets
Damn.
weirder. Dio can create mind-controlling flesh buds from his hair follicles, vaporize the moisture in his body to freeze anything he touches, and fire beams of pressurized fluids that can split the sky. Pressurized fluids? Oh, sometimes it's too easy, Wiz. Even more insane is Dio's healing factor. He's been burnt alive, impaled through the head, bisected, decapitated, lost limbs, filled with bullets, and had a huge hole punched in his chest not once, not twice, but 3 times. Another similar vampire survived being blown to pieces and just pulled himself back together.
What? Holy crap!
So he is basically a vampire. Though I guess
yeah.
the things are just for decoration because he sucks blood through his fingers.
Oh god, that does not seem sanitary.
A zombie army to conquer the world and feed a baby to its own mother. Just for kicks. We've had a lot of real pieces of shit on this show, Wiz, but I'm starting to think Dio
The
takes
actual
the cake. Luckily, his
fuck?
plans were foiled again by his old frenemy JoJo, who beat Dio's ass with a martial art that uses the power of the sun, Hamon. Because, should Dio's vampire body be subjected to sunlight, he will instantly disintegrate. So, what did Dio do? Well, he cut off his own head, killed Jonathan on his wedding night, and attached his head to JoJo's body. Wow, cake taken for sure.
Damn.
After a brief century in a coffin at the bottom of the ocean, Dio resurfaced in Egypt and tried once again to take over the world. His ultimate goal was to create a world where everyone knew their own fate and could make peace with the inevitable tragedies life had in store. In Dio's mind, heaven.
And he'd make it happen no matter how many breads he'd have to eat.
After
Jeez.
being struck by a mystical arrow,
jeez.
sure, why not, Dio gained a
Sorry about
stand,
that.
the embodiment of a user's life force. Since they're made of psychic energy, stands can only be seen by stand users, and can only be hurt by other stands. Quite the obstacle for any opponent lacking similar abilities.
Ow. Hey, look, Wiz, I got a stand. I call it 99 bottles. Hold on. Oh, shit. Don't worry, Wiz. I'll change you back with your
Doesn't he have biological clones?
Ooh, look, a giant beer.
As befits a god among men, Dio received one of the most powerful stands in history, the world, with its ability to stop
What?
time.
Time, huh?
Oh,
Thanks for
great.
that. Ow! Well, not only does his time stop get longer
Lasts
with
11
each use,
seconds,
he can
increases
spend
with
as much
each
as he
use,
likes.
and is
He's a
activated by
massive
thought.
troll.
Damn.
The world is absurdly strong and fast, able to match
Invisible to
the
non-star
Star Platinum,
users.
which belongs to Jonathan's great-great-grandson, Jotaro.
Jotaro.
He technically inherited it from Dio through Jonathan's body and bloodline, making Star Platinum and the world the same stand.
And both are two of the strongest stands out there, just as strong as Stone Free, which can punch meteors that were pulled to Earth in seconds.
By measuring the distance the meteors are from
Here comes the math.
estimate they were moving at over 11 million meters per second. Factoring in their mass, they'd each have a kinetic energy of 441 kilotons of TNT.
Really? That's it?
That crazy when you can throw punches that are faster than light. No, really, Star Platinum kept up with this stand, Silver Chariot, which could cut a beam of light.
Looking at the interval Silver Chariot's sword swung relative to the light beam, it must have moved over 1,500 times the speed of light. And Dio
Okay.
himself has matched Star Platinum on his own, and taken its punches head on.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to Dio's secret weapon, the greatest weapon in anime history.
Dropping a bulldozer!
The Steamroller.
Yeah!
So Dio's a hell of a chef. He can make pancakes and donuts.
Even so, despite having a massive god
Just
complex, Dio's still a careful tactician, capable of exploiting an opponent's weaknesses.
Too bad he wasn't
Almost
prepared
smashed the
for
finger.
Jotaro to learn how to stop time too and murder the shit out of him. That's some hardcore karma right there.
Destruction.
It only makes sense
Divides
that
the
a
stand
dumb
made in
murderer
heaven,
would die like
floating
a
just
bitch.
as a head.
But much like the machinations of great and
Damn.
terrible men, Dio's will was immortal. In time, his greatest follower succeeded in extinguishing the Joestar bloodline and literally remaking the universe in Dio's image, creating that heaven he always dreamed of.
I guess when you're named after a rock star, a movie star, and, oh, that's right, God, you're pretty much bound for greatness.
You thought your first kiss would be JoJo.
Oh,
but it
God.
Was I, Dio.
We had to include that scene.
How blessed are some people whose lives have no fear.
Okay,
no
let's see what
doubt.
Alucard has to
For
offer.
Though the world seems full of good men, there are monsters in it.
But don't worry, jolly old England has it covered with the Helsing organization.
Founded by famous vampire hunter Abraham
Van
Van
Helsing.
and led by his descendant Integra, this secret government institution has saved the world time and again with their secret weapon.
And what better weapon to hunt
Alucard.
vampires than with one of their very own, the no-life king, the bird of Hermes, Alucard.
To most, his origin was shrouded in mystery. But under Helsing's employ, he was molded into an elite hunter, made even more vicious.
598 years old, so he's got the experience.
Vampire kind.
Was a little girl during World War II?
With two of the gnarliest handguns
Canonical to Bram Stoker's Dracula.
competent God to never see in
Helsing
person.
organization trump card.
Alucard's
And has
primary
killed
sidearm
millions.
is the castle, a behemoth of a handgun able to kill most undead in one shot with holy bullets that can nullify a vampire's healing factor.
The Jackal is the handgun she told you not to worry about. 16 inches long and weighing 35 pounds. It's armed
Damn.
with hollow point bullets, jacketed in blessed Macedonian silver, were built to annihilate the toughest monsters.
And after decades of clandestine experimentation, Helsing enhanced Alucard's vampiric abilities
Excuse
far
me.
beyond the norm.
Alucard can walk through walls, cast illusions, levitate, and move objects with his mind. Objects like, say, an ocean of over 3 million people's blood? That'd be an energy worth half a ton of TNT.
His psychic prowess allows
Of course, Boomstick would know that, but not nearly enough. But not nearly as much as the meteor.
He's not a Triclops. It's more of a sixth sense that lets him hit bullseyes from a kilometer away and even predict your movements. Kind of like the Sharon gun.
Of course, he wouldn't be a real vampire if he couldn't drink blood. The catch
Of
is,
course.
when he drinks enough blood to kill you, he literally absorbs your soul. And that right there is the source of his most fearsome ability.
You just can't kill the sumbitch. Shoot him into Swiss
Yeah.
cheese, blow his ass to smithereens, turn him into a literal blood puddle. He'll just regenerate his body lickety-split.
Game, telepathy,
We've seen
telekinesis,
some
illusions, and
overpowered
immortality.
on this show before, but Alucard's is just bullshit.
He does possess blood and organs like a regular human. Alucard's body is, in reality, composed of an ethereal, shadow-like substance that he can morph any way he wants. This allows him to shapeshift and instantly heal any wound. And each soul Alucard has consumed acts as an extra life that he can spend whenever he's fatally injured. Kind of like a video game.
And
Wow.
after 500 years of unlife, Alucard has consumed literally millions of souls. Hold up. Yay, more beer.
Just like me.
Hold up. Helsing needed a beast as
This is never gonna end, is it?
to take on Millennium, aka Nazi vampires. That's like
Oh, great.
squared.
Like when Millennium SS Lieutenant
So,
Rick Van Winkle
Hydra,
pioneered a British
vampires,
aircraft
what did
carrier
the
as part of
Nazis
an
not try to
invasion of
use?
London.
Alucard didn't like that very much, so he jackknifed it with an SR-71 Blackbird at Mach 3.
A fully loaded Blackbird weighs 170,000 pounds, meaning it struck with the kinetic energy of 11 tons of TNT. That's as powerful as the U.S. Massive Ordnance Air Blast.
AKA the mother of all bombs.
Mother of all bombs.
Hell was in the middle of that and strolled out like it was nothing.
Just as impressive as intercepting Rip's magic bullets. Comparing the distance one bullet moved to the jet in the same time frame as the jet's own movement, each bullet would have to be moving at 1,500 times the speed of sound.
And
Yeah,
Alucard
still not as fast as the light
friggin'
timers.
And after giving Rip's name a new meaning, he drove that aircraft carrier back to shore with his mind to fight two separate armies at the same time. What a goddamn monster!
It goes without saying that Alucard's immense power and bloodlust needed to be controlled, so 6 restriction levels were placed on him that he can release against dangerous opponents.
Levels 6 through 2 are for wrecking your ordinary ghouls. Level 1 is for your heavy-duty vampires, and for getting this gnarly demon doggo made from his shadow essence, Baskerville.
But there exists an even greater state of power Alucard can release when he wants to end the world. Level 0.
Once activated, Level 0 releases every single soul Alucard has consumed as a sea of blood-soaked zombies. All 3 million of them.
Sure, with his souls gone, he can't heal as easily, and if his heart is destroyed, he'll die permanently. But the sheer numbers and power of this army from hell makes him virtually impossible to approach in the first place.
He's unstoppable. This guy's got to be like the king of all vampires.
Indeed, he is. Helsing purposely kept Alucard's true identity a secret, all in the codename. Alucard backwards is
It's Dracula.
Yeah, duh, Wiz, idiot.
over 500 years ago.
Anyone who's played Castlevania would know.
Vlad Dracula battled the Ottoman Turks for control over Eastern Europe and impaled thousands of people in the process. Hence his historical name, Vlad the Impaler.
But things didn't end up too good for him. Right before his execution, he took a big old sip of some blood from the battlefield, sacrificing his humanity in order to become an immortal creature of the night.
And that is when the legend was born. But it wasn't anything Dracula was proud of. He grew to despise his monstrous nature and saw it as cowardice. The main reason he hated other vampires so much was that he really hated himself.
Oh, that's deep, Wiz. Maybe that's why he always lets his enemies rip into him like a pinata of self-loathing. His crazy opiate healing factor will fix everything anyways.
Millennium would exploit this arrogance by tricking Alucard into absorbing the soul and abilities of Schrödinger, a German cat boy who controls his own quantum state. This grants him pseudo-omnipresence and immortality. He can exist everywhere and nowhere, and cannot die so long as he can recognize his own existence.
But because Al had 3
What?
million souls kicking around inside him, Schrödinger couldn't recognize himself anymore, forcing him, and thus Alucard, to fade out of existence.
So Alucard spent 30 years killing the other 3 million souls inside of him until he could return to reality and his master. He undid his own unexistence.
No matter how spoopy the threat,
What?
Alucard will show no
Holy
mercy.
crap.
He's just waiting for the day he meets a noble human warrior strong enough to end his unlife for good.
But should he face a fellow monster, a fool who rejected their humanity like himself, he'll let loose the dogs of war, and all hell will sing.
I'm a dog. Then you're dog food.
Wow, that was a lot.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Pause. Okay. Alright, just one sec. Yeah? Okay. Thought it over for a couple minutes. And I think I'm going to go with Dio. Because Alucard's healing factor may be broken as all get out, but his feats don't really compare with Dio's, because Alucard has speeds comparable to 1,500 times the speed of sound, but Dio's can match the speed of light, which is still way faster. And even matching the mother of all bombs is nothing compared to 11 kilotons of TNT. So, I'm honest. So even if Alucard does use level 0, I'm willing to bet that Dio will just be able to power through it, because he really is only weak to sunlight. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with Dio. That's my final prediction. Let's see if I'm right. 3, 2, 1, go. Now, is this gonna be sprayed? Yes, it is. Okay. Oh, a bit of a mixture of both.
You interrupted my dinner.
Funny, I was just thinking about having mine.
Then by all means, take a bite.
Here we go. Fight! Oh yeah, and his stand is invisible to Alucard since he's not a stand user.
Checkmate! How oh so very weak, dog. You thought you'd triumph, but it was I. Dio?
If I'm a dog, you're a dog too.
That was good. Yeah! They just had to include that part. Level 0? There's a stand, but yeah. Whoa! Yeah, but it depends on whether Dio's powerful enough to get through it, which I think he is.
What the hell are you?
A real fucking vampire.
Jeez. Good God. This is animated really well. Oh, finishing it on top of Big Ben. Whoa, jeez. Oh yeah, you can move objects with his mind. Oh.
You want blood, you disgusting monster? Choke on your own.
He can survive that. Yep, he can freeze him.
I want to rule the world.
No stopping time.
Face me, Vampire King! Bow to your new god!
The bird of Hermes is my name, eating my wings to make me tame.
Whoa! More time stopping. Yep. Useless. KO!
Alucard
All
pulled out
right.
all the stops, but like the bloody drink, it was in vain. Finger guns.
He may have
No.
been the king of the vampires in Hellsing, but Dio had everything
Yeah.
he needed to clip the bird of Hermes' wings.
Alucard's strategy in most fights is to heal from an opponent's attacks until they get tired, then take advantage of an opening. But he couldn't do that here because Dio didn't really have any openings. And Alucard
Yeah,
wasn't
true.
nearly as strong or as fast to compensate.
Nope.
Alucard could survive crashing that jet and move 1,500 times faster than sound. But scaling
But-
from Stone Free and Silver Chariot, the world could punch relativistic meteors and move 1,500
100 times faster than light.
That would make Dio nearly 40,000 times stronger and 800,000 times faster than Alucard.
Yep.
Alucard couldn't even see or hurt the world in the first place because he's not a stand user.
Exactly.
And since
Yep.
Stone Mask vampires from JoJo aren't weak to holy weapons like Helsing vampires are, Al's guns were more or less dead weight.
Plus,
Yep.
Alucard just had no way to get past the time stop. Even if he did,
Yeah, he couldn't-
somehow,
He
Dio could
couldn't
just
counter
freeze
the
him on
time
contact.
stops.
And considering Dio has taken punches from Star Platinum, Hal would have had trouble doing damage even if he got the chance.
Dio's far greater speed and power meant that, given enough time, he could realistically kill Alucard 3 million times in quick succession. Without any viable options for attack
Jeez.
or openings to exploit, Alucard's soul-based regeneration meant he would run out of lives eventually, and level 0 only sped up that process.
Sure,
That's
that
right.
was nothing to scoff at, but consider the time Dio's eye beams split those huge-ass clouds.
Estimating
Yeah.
the size of the clouds and the speed at which they moved, Dio's beams must have output an energy of over 10
10
megatons of
megatons.
TNT,
There we
enough
go.
to wipe out Alucard's army in one go, leaving him vulnerable. Just like when this other vampire, Walter, could have killed him by piercing his heart. Alucard's even admitted it himself.
Hell,
Wow.
Alucard's army is filled with blood. You know, that thing that Dio uses to heal? But Wiz, what about Schrodinger? With his powers, Al can't die unless he chooses to.
While Schrodinger's quantum immortality makes him impossible to kill normally, it is literally part of the story that Alucard cannot have Schrodinger's abilities and his greater array of powers at the same time, or else
No.
he'll no longer exist. We can't give him both Schrodinger and his standard powers without breaking the lore and rules of the character.
Even if we
Okay.
did, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't help him kill Dio at all, so at best it'd be a stalemate. Until
Yeah.
Dio hypnotizes Alucard, asks him about his powers, and forces him to eject Schrody like the rest of his souls.
Yep.
Shocking though it may be, Dio's overwhelming offense, impenetrable defense, and uniquely devastating abilities wore Alucard down until the No-Life King had no lives left.
Alucard got Dioned.
Boomstick, you tell the worst puns in the world.
Thank you.
That's right, and you're just gonna have to Dio with it. And hey, wait a minute, that was a pun. That's my territory. We talked about this.
The winner is
Dio Brando. Okay. That was weird. But, okay, I was right again. Yeah. I'm doing really well this season. Okay.
All sorts of wacky antics.
Who's
It's
next?
super fun. A lot of people who worked on Death Battle also worked on this show, so give it a watch. Thanks.
Akuma. And Shao Kahn. Yes. Yes. That is a matchup that I was wanting to happen. Because their second ever death battle was Akuma versus Shang Tsung. And they later did Shao Kahn versus M. Bison. I've been saying for so long that they should have just done Akuma versus Shao Kahn, and maybe down the line they'll do Shang Tsung and M. Bison. But still, Akuma and Shao Kahn, they're the real big bats of their respective franchises. So, finally, seeing those two throw down is going to be so much fun to watch. If I had to pick a winner of that matchup right now, I would probably go with Akuma. Because his control over the Satsui no Hado is nuts. And I just think that he has while I think Shao Kahn has better experience, I just think that Akuma's feats are slightly superior to Shao Kahn's. But anyway, as usual, I wait for the analysis to pick a winner for that, so we'll just get to that when we get to that. But anyway, I was right again, so when does that make it? 8 in a row. Or, no, I guess I can't really count Macho Man and Cooler Man because I didn't really make a prediction for that, so 7, I guess. But anyways, that was a really good matchup. Man, that was weird, but it was still a lot of fun to watch. I'm looking forward to the next matchup, so overall, I am happy. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you haven't already, please support the official release in the description below. I'm the Crocodile King. Have a great one. Happy Halloween.